What's going on, guys? Today I have something very nerdy to show you, and you guys are probably going to hate me and think I'm weird, but we have Killjoy turret lineups, and you're probably thinking to yourself, Teets, are you a Verge? And I'm like, that's not the important question right now, okay? So you might be thinking to yourself, well, what's a turret lineup? Why do you have to line up your turret? Well, the thing about playing Killjoy on maps that she's really meta on, like Haven or Ascent, is that her turret is really good at holding certain map control. And let's say, for example, that like your team is like rushing A, right? So you have two people going short, two people going long, and then it's sort of your job to obviously watch the flank. You're the sentinel. You're supposed to be doing that. So what I do sometimes is I'll throw my alarm bot long, and then I have a lineup so that my turret goes. Let me just show you. So that when the buy barrier drops, I have a lineup. So you hug yourself in this corner, you aim at the bottom of this like thing, metal piece or whatever. So when the buy barrier drops, you pull out your turret, and then you jump up and you put it on this box. And the reason why this turret's really good is because if somebody tries to push out a garage, you can easily punish them for it. Or if they try to push out mid, you can swing this way and punish them for it. And that's obviously really good. Yeah, as you can see, my friend Aku's trying to push mid now, and you shoot him, you kill him. Pretty easy kill. Same thing goes for garage. And yeah, that's sort of how you hold mid control as Killjoy. So if your team gets stuffed on A, like I was talking about before, they don't have to worry about, people walking up mid because you've been holding it that entire time. And then what happens is if your A take is successful, like if you actually take A, this turret allows you to walk up mid and take a solo fight while it watches garage for you. So it's a pretty secure way of lurking, holding map control, and just Killjoy's just really good for this map. And I think that these turret lineups make it a lot easier to do that. Because a lot of times you'll try to you'll just throw it up here somewhere, and it's just really weird. And it's just a solid way to make sure that you can put it on the same spot every time. So it's really good. And then I have one for A as well. The issue I have with A is that it watches short and long, but your alarm bot only covers one entrance, either jump up on window or the walkout through mid here. So what I do usually is I'll just throw my alarm bot in window, so in case somebody jumps up, I'll know, and I'll just tell my team, hey, they could walk out garage and walk out this way, so just be careful. But for this lineup, what I'll do is I'll line my turret up sort of with the archway in this door here, like this. And so when the buy barrier drops, I'm waiting for it to drop. I'll put it sort of, well, okay, I messed it up. But you line it up, and you put it so it's just out enough so it spots long, but then so it also spots short. So if anybody tries to peek long or tries to aggress, you can swing off of it and kill the person trying to do so. So you put the turret down and you immediately drop into this cubby. It allows you to swing off it this way, but also allows you to swing off it from short too. And this is really good because this holds A control for you really well. And then if you punish the enemy one time for doing so, later in future rounds, they're going to think, okay, well, either A, I don't want to swing this turret because Killjoy's Killjoy's here to try and swing me, or B, maybe I can kill Killjoy. Maybe I can, swing her turret and my teammate, maybe we can double swing, right? We swing at the same time, try to break it, and then maybe you counterplay that and you have somebody swing off the turret with you, so you have a couple people here with you. Or maybe you just leave the turret here by itself if they're not punishing you, for it anymore. Maybe you just leave the turret there and you go do something else. The turret range is big enough to where it can watch A for you, and then eventually maybe your team is splitting C through garage. You could eventually work your way up window and maybe try to lurk up B. Yeah, so those are a couple turret lineups for attack side on Haven. And I'm going to cut real quick, and I'm going to take us to Ascent, and I'm going to show you a few more that you can do just like this. So I'll see you there. All right, guys. So I had to cut before we go to Ascent. I forgot to tell you guys that the issue with this Killjoy stuff is that sometimes people will start, pre-firing where your turret's at. Especially out of this garage push, people will spam the doors and try to kill it. So you just want to be switching up the spots of where you're putting this turret if they start doing that, or having your teammates swing and try to kill them as they're wall banging it, or if they're swinging out, you could try to counterplay that. But if they're swinging this top turret, you could do a different lineup. So for the first one, you aim at the bottom of this. This one's pretty self-explanatory. You just aim at the top of the metal piece now, so that when the buy barrier drops, you run up and the turret goes in front. And the reason why this is good is because it has first contact of anybody pushing out a garage. It's the first thing they'll see, and then same goes for mid. The turret will be the first thing they see, so you can swing off it that way. Or if you want, this one's not as good, but if they're not pushing B, you could just throw it in window, and this does quite literally the same thing. or I guess it's, yeah. So that works. Just wanted to throw that in there. I forgot to record that in the original recording. So let's go to Ascent now. All right, so now we're on Ascent, and I'm going to show you guys a few turret lineups to do. They can hold A, they can hold mid bot, and then they can hold catwalk. The B main turret I'll show you, you don't really need a lineup for, you just sort of run up and do it. But for A, this turret, so look at the edge of this like little corner thing, and then watch how I'm going to line it up with my UI. I'm going to line it up so that the edge of that alarm bot thing is just touching it, right? So you end the game, you wait for the buy barrier to go down, you get your turret out, you walk up, and you put it down. Obviously, this, like, you don't need to put it down instantaneously, but this turret is almost impossible to dodge. So A, your teammates could either swing off of it if you're trying to take A main control, or B, you can put it up here. If they try to break it, you can, you obviously can swing off it and punish anybody trying to do so. And this turret sees everything. Like if you try to make it into wine, like it'll see you. See, turret's OP, just killed the opper. But you can hug this wall and it'll kill you, like it'll spot you out. And then again, the same thing applies to the concept I talked about on A site or A lobby on Haven, right? So like you put this turret up here, and then maybe you try to punish somebody for trying to kill it, or maybe your teammate punishes somebody for trying to kill it. So then later in the rounds, they stop trying to punish it. They're just like, okay, give them A main, maybe we'll take something else. And then eventually, like I said, you could leave your turret there or watch as the A flank, and then you can watch mid. So when your teammate's trying to push B, you can hold all this control and maybe trying to punish somebody, trying to make a quick rotate or try to flank or do something like that. So that's the A one. And then for top cat, I'm going to show you a quick lineup for this one. Or not cat, I'm sorry, for bot mid. This turret is really good for holding bot mid if you want to walk up catwalk. You want to aim at the edge of this lamp, like this post thing. You want to aim like right here, sort of where it meets the wall. Wait for the barrier to drop. You run up, you put it down. And this turret basically makes it impossible for the enemy team to swing out from bot mid. See, coming out of the, you could even come out of the ground and it's still going to pop you. But this is really good because you can walk up catwalk if you want while you're doing this. And like I said, it watches your bot mid for you. Obviously, if you smoke it and then they try to push it to smoke, it'll go off, obviously. So it's a really good turret. Again, good for holding mid control. You put it here, you get ready to swing off a guy maybe pushing out of tiles, trying to flank, or maybe pushing bot mid, or even pushing catwalk because it sees that as well. But if that start getting shot, you can this is sort of the same lineup. You want to aim at the corner of this window, like from right here, and you walk forward, and you line up with the barrier. The barrier's not here, but you line up from like here with that, and it goes on top of this box like so. This one, the enemy can dodge barely by like a pixel, but if they start pre-firing this turret every round or like start wallbanging it, it gets pretty obvious. See like how he's sort of peeking me? Yeah, like he can still see me and the turret's not spotting. But if they start pre-firing this one, wallbanging it or doing whatever, like I said, line up with the barrier, look at here, it's like with this indent in the brick, and then you just walk up and put it down. It's a really good turret as well. Now for catwalk, I want to restart the game phase again. This one's really good if you're trying to take catwalk. So you wait for the buy barrier to go down. You don't really need a lineup for this. You just you hug this wall, you run up, and you just throw it down. Maybe I do need a lineup because I'm bad at putting these down. But you throw the turret there, and it's basically spots off catwalk. They literally cannot peek catwalk at all. Even if they get to the right side of this and they try to peek out, it will shoot them. So this is really good too if you want to isolate your angles. Like if you're lurking, right, your team's pushing A or trying to split A or something, that turret has first contact on catwalk so they can walk up mid maybe. And then it also spots like bot mid too. Not every angle, but it spots, most angles from bot mid. So as that's watching your catwalk, you could like take 1v1s, you could isolate your angles, clear things individually. I'm clearing this angle, clear this angle, maybe molly this out, do whatever. So that's a really good turret. And if that one starts getting shot out, you could throw this one, which isn't as good, but it still spots catwalk, most of it at least, and also spots, bot mid, just so you see like you could sort of hide from it, like it can sort of see your shoulder, so you just want to, just be careful. It obviously will ping them if they try to, walk out, so that's really good. And lastly, the B main one, this one's pretty simple. You just throw it here, and it'll spot anybody pushing B main. Nothing crazy. But yeah, that's sort of, I guess those are turret lineups. Kind of nerdy. But hopefully you guys sort of realize how these lineups can sort of help you hold map control better, because that's your job as a sentinel. You hold map control for your team so that eventually they can rotate out if they need to, or you can punish people for trying to push out on you, you know? And yeah, so that's about it. I hope you guys learned something from this. I know I did. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe.